G'day listeners, welcome to Bar Karate, the sailing podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer and it's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors, but of course I have to share the mic with my two idiot mates. So first off, let's bring in Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, exalted one.
BP.
Evening world.
Evening world.
I've got nothing else to say, just evening world.
You're a tired little puppy. You've been sailing for 2 days straight. You're exhausted.
It's great to be back on the water again. Gee, when you're not doing it, you miss it. When you're doing it, you don't want to be doing it because it's too hard. No,
that's philosophical wisdom there, mate.
No, seriously speaking, it was a great weekend of sailing, and it's just good to be out there again. To be honest.
Yeah, cool. In the concertina etchel.
The accordion.
The folding blind version.
Whatever. Move on.
The Embeda etchel.
Yeah, got beaten by a couple of Ontarios and a couple of Heritages. Geez, no difference.
Yeah, slowed them down, mate. They needed to be.
Who's that voice? Hang on, let's bring in the other bloke.
Oh,
he had a voice that could make a Wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice.
Hey, we should put a little disclaimer on. If you want to be greeted properly by BP, make sure you're listening in the evening.
Yeah, that's it.
Evening world.
So, evening world.
That was almost John Law's type.
It was a bit, wasn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, evening world, Valvoline. You know what I mean? Sorry for the international listeners. They wouldn't get any of that at all.
No.
Oh, well, all good.
Yeah,
How you going? How you going, Bossy?
Yeah, good. No, we had a great weekend of yachting, and it was a Saturday. So we had our standard Adelaide Saturday storm.
Oh, good.
2 weeks ago, it was 70 knots. Actually, pretty good to be in the folding arm business, folding arm awning business. A lot of the opposition, the competition blew up. So anyway, last weekend was 50 knots, and this weekend was only 35.
Oh, nice.
35.
And that was, probably half hour before the start. And then we got becalmed in the middle of the Gulf.
Good. So, you know, whether put the one or the number
Sailing
4 up.
is awesome. So we, started up the old Motori, headed back in and made a pact amongst the crew to tell everyone that we finished at 2 a.m.
There you go. Reminds me of,
and you could imagine what we got up to then.
Reminds me of an old story of our good mate Bubsy. He said, when we're going through those transitional periods, the tactician at the time, I don't know who it was at this stage, names shall remain anonymous. We need the number 1. We need the number 2. We need the number 4. We need the number 1. And he turned around and said, you can have any sail you want, but only one at a time.
Oh, he's a wise man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the advantage, BP, of course, with the double-hander fleet thing that you're working on and building is that most of your sails are already up in the sky. They're just furled up. I like the logic of that.
Just roll them up.
Yeah, the Amokas, the Class 40s, all the little things, just rolling them up. Should be. Good. I could actually introduce that as a rule. Just make everyone's life easier. Just have the sails all rolled up. You've got to have them up. If you want to use them, they've got to be up on the forestay before the start.
That's your selection. What are you going for? Oh, I'm going to go for the J4 furled and the J5 inner forestay and the AP.
Yeah. It's actually, that's got some legs. I reckon that's going to take off. There'll be some banter about that one.
Love it.
Cool. All right, lads. So shall I bring our guest in?
Bring her in.
Okay, well, you've given one secret away.
Yeah, give him one bit away, yeah.
The other secret
I'm pretty good like that.
We have to acknowledge that our illustrious friends in the United Kingdom, the British sailing team, have produced some champions, a lot of champions. And unfortunately, tonight's guest is just another one of the never-ending sushi train of champions that they punch out. She's been a champion from day one, basically.
Can't believe, actually, England hadn't sunk all the gold medals.
Yeah, I know. They must trip over them all the time. Pretty much a champion from day one. So, national champion in the cadets, a couple of fourths at World Championships in the cadets, won gold at the Youth Worlds. A lot of pro sailing, multiple World Championships in the Yngling class, and then just won the Olympic gold medal in 2008. So an absolute superstar. She goes under multiple names. I think she's hiding from the police. When she was sailing for the UK, Pippa Wilson, nowadays Pippa Kenton-Page, but just for us tonight, Pippa, how you going? Welcome to Barkarati.
Hello, thanks for having me.
I'm
I'm
Pippa.
just another
Glad-
one, by the way.
Just another, and we've got the MBE as well, as Bicey's hinting. Yes, champion.
Good to be here. Have you on, Pippa? Where are you in the UK? Where are you at the minute?
I am in Dubai at the moment, so and then we're coming to that time of year which finally we can be like, hurrah! Everyone's freezing at home and we're in the best of it. So I'm happy about that today. Next,
And is that permanent residency? Well,
yeah,
permanent
yeah,
resident. Yeah.
actually. Yeah. So now, yes, it goes fast.
Yeah, how did you end up in Dubai?
My husband applied for a job here and then got a job here. He wasn't actually my husband at the time, but we thought we'd better move there. So we came, and then that was when the Abu Dhabi World Cup final was then on. So that was quite good. I just worked there with Ben Ramoka for a bit, and then since really I've worked at the sailing club here. So it's been actually great. And the years fly by. It's the kind of place where everybody comes for like 1 year or 3 years, and then 25 years later still here. It's a hard place to leave.
Is that the
He wasn't a
Dubai Sailing
hostie
Club?
on. He wasn't a hostie on Emirates.
No, well, that's not what he tells me he's not, but I'm not totally sure.
He just disappears every now and then for a quick 36-hour jaunt.
Yeah, I always wind him up about this, like he's hiding his uniform somewhere. I'm sure. He won't let me on the plane with him, so I can't be sure.
You mentioned you work at the sailing club. Is that the Dubai Sailing Club?
Yeah, Dubai Offshore Sailing Club.
Offshore Sailing Club. Know it very well. I actually did the Dubai.
Is that the one you got locked into, BP?
No,
I never looked for.
no. That was the one on the border of Oman and Dubai. That was.
okay.
But that's a whole other story, Pip. You wait for that one. No.
Hey.
I know the club very well, so it's a very nice club. For all those who are interested, go and check it out.
Yeah.
Now, Pippa, this is a super serious question. Have you ever seen a photo of Jordan Spencer in the Dubai Offshore Club at all? He tells us he's got a photo in every yacht club.
Oh, that's a good question. I'll go tomorrow, so I'll find out.
Pippa?
No,
Oh, you won't miss it.
Pippa?
Regardless of the size, it's just
I'm sure he would have told
one
me that.
photo with one big head.
Exactly. I'm sure he would have mentioned that.
Our favourite guests will play the game, and they go and they have a photo of me, and they take a shot in the club, and then they send the evidence just to prove that I'm world famous.
Oh,
My husband
no.
says,
Oh,
my
is that
husband
real?
says, why
Okay.
are you printing out a picture of Jordan? I was thinking, well, it's a real story, but I just haven't.
Dear.
How many pictures do you take around the world when you go, Jordan? Do you have them all framed? And
Can
you've
we
got- just give
focus
them
on
away?
Pippa, you idiots?
I thought you were going to say with
sorry.
Jordan. I was like,
Yeah. Well, how many did I give you when we met?
Only
you
three.
give me? Hang on.
All right.
Photo. Yeah, can't remember. Did you take a selfie? We
Yeah.
should have.
Yeah, I don't know, actually. We didn't even do that. Let's get on to the important stuff. Right. Tell us your pathway into sailing. Like, we're interested how you got started.
Okay, so I first started in the Optimist, well renowned, of course, and then quickly went into the cadet class, which I love. The boat is just the best boat ever. So, and at my sailing club, they had a big fleet. So that's kind of where I started crewing. And then eventually I thought I could do a better job of this. So I started helming, and then from then sailed the cadet for quite a while, and then progressed into 29 and 420, and then Olympic classes.
So which club was that?
Lymington, the Royal Lymington Yacht Club.
The
Yes.
Royal.
Yeah, I've heard of
Now, any talent come out of that club before you at all?
it. No.
Pippa holds the mantle.
Yeah, well, now since I've realised I'm an adult-ish, there's not much else to do in Lymington except go sailing and go horse riding. And my parents, I actually loved horse riding. My parents were like, "No way, you're not going horse riding." So sailing it was.
Yeah, let's find a cheaper sport.
Exactly.
Sailing.
Yeah. Well, at least it was one that they wanted to do rather than one they definitely didn't want to do.
Yeah, sure.
So were they sailors themselves?
My mum isn't really a fan of the water, but spent her whole life on the water with my dad. My dad is, I think, grew up sailing and just loves the sport and, you know, what goes with it. So he's really the one that kind of drove us into it. But he didn't push us into it. There wasn't much else to do, to be honest. Eventually I got bored enough that I went sailing because climbing trees got boring, and then one thing led to another, really.
Was it always a competitive thing? Was there an element of just getting out there and enjoying yourself, and then all of a sudden this competitive spirit started flowing as such that you wanted to win every time you went out on the water?
Yeah, someone said this the other day. Oh, it's just about having fun. For me, it's hard. Yeah, I totally get that. I feel like that now. Well, not when I'm sailing, but for other people, I understand that. But for me, yeah, I guess that's just part of my personality. Like when I stopped sailing, I was trying to understand why I have been good at sailing. But yeah, I think I'm just competitive. I like to win.
Yep.
Well,
Good
that's why
answer.
I like sport and hating losing. That's about it, yeah.
So you should have just pulled your gold medal out of your back pocket and go, well, gold or fun, here we go.
One. Yeah, my sister, though, funnily enough, my older sister, she's really the one that started. She's not competitive at all. So she just did it for fun, and I do it not for fun. So no, of course I enjoy it now.
Of course.
Yeah.
But when you compared to when you started and what you see now with kids, be it opties or cadets or whatever, do you see a big difference?
Actually, yeah, I think the biggest difference when we started, it was parent driven. Like the parents ran all the racing, whereas now, I mean, it's a bit different here. Maybe in this part of the world, we have like a full-time staff of instructors, and the parents aren't really allowed to, even if they wanted to. So it's probably a good thing in times, isn't it? But then it was a lot more community led, and still is a bit more limited, I think. But yeah, that's probably the biggest difference. And I guess, like, listen to this conversation. I was just at the World Sailing Conference, listening to this conversation. Like, not everybody's like me and crazy competitive. That's the point of sport, isn't it? It's not. It has so many different levels than just winning. So obviously, that's a really big part of it. And I do coach and teach now, and that's trying to understand that for everybody, it's got a different meaning, hasn't it?
It's something we talk about a lot, because the real reason Barkarati exists is to promote sailing, to try and get people into sailing. And we talk a lot to the top end of the sport. And the reason we do that is because we believe in that having heroes, and for youngsters to have someone to idolise or, look into and find the pathways, find the way to do it, makes that happen. But the reality of the sport is that most people are there just having fun, and they go down to the club, they hang out with their friends, they have a beer, that's how the three of us became mates, just down the club having beers. And that whole element is still critical. And we had one of the, had the vice president of World Sailing on last week, I think it was, no, a week before, and talked about that access to sailing. In Dubai, you've got like this population that sailing is a tradition there, kind of, with the dhows, but the lifestyle. I was just going to say, with the lifestyle that we have there, there's a lot of demand for sailing, or how do you get people in your role?
I think that's actually something that's really highlighted with the SailGP just coming recently, and the Inspire program. Like, that's one of the most amazing things I think about the SailGP. Obviously, as a sailor, I've always loved watching the racing, but now they've been here and seeing the impact they have for us in Dubai. That's been the biggest impact, because most of our kids, as you say here, like a lot of expat kids, so they don't necessarily have that much of a connection with their home clubs. If they're into sailing, they don't really realize how big the circuit is outside of Dubai. They don't realize what they're part of. So for them to be part of something like that, to show them what they can achieve, and actually, I think that's the sort of missing a little bit here, is because we're not in Europe, we're not in a big country where sailing is a huge sport, and they can't compete for the UAE, our expat kids, then, understanding and being inspired by the big fleets around the world.
It's probably a bit late to tell right now, but have you seen any uptick with the knowledge, one, that SailGP is coming to town, and two, as far as what legacy it's going to leave? Because they're there for the next 3 years as well. Is that right?
Is that confirmed? Yeah, everybody here.
Oh, pretty much. If we've said it on Bark Radio, it's probably confirmed.
Must be true. I'm pretty sure he announced it in the tent. So
I've got the contract. I've got the contract here, so I'm about to send it off. Actually, thanks for reminding me, Boise.
Jordan said it in the adrenaline lounge, so it must be true. Yeah, I really feel like, obviously, I'm from England, where it's a huge sport, and we already have that inspiration through our whole sailing program and champions from our country. Whereas definitely here, even the interesting part of, like, I was helping the Inspire program connect them with the local kids and local schools. And when I was telling everybody, you need to get involved, you need to do something and sign up. And they were all like, oh, what? I have to give up my Saturday. I want to go to a party. And I was like, okay, but just trust me, just do it. And then they all, after the first day, were like, wow, that was the most amazing experience of my life. And now they're super keen. So for me as a coach as well, it's really cool because now everyone's super fired up. You can tell it's made a huge impact on most of them, actually.
Do you reckon next week all the kids will turn up with helmets, big glasses, and fully mic'd up, ready to go?
Yeah, probably. Hopefully not using the same swear words. Yeah, they've actually all bought remote control boats as well, which is really sweet.
Oh, twiddling. Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they all want to do foiling sailing, and so it's really cool because before, as much as they all love sailing, there's only so many times you can dress up going upwind, downwind, starting. For me, as a coach, my job trying to make it interesting, they didn't understand what they're aiming for. So it makes my job easier because suddenly they're like, you can see a light bulb go off, like, oh, I understand where this might lead for me.
So you don't, in your coaching role, you don't just put up lots of videos of you winning gold medals and using that as the inspiration?
No, actually, no, it's funny because sometimes they're like, did you really win a gold medal? This is the funny thing as well for me a bit. Like,
Told you should put it in your back pocket.
I know, I should just walk around with it. Everyone I meet is like, why do you not just walk around with it all day?
Yeah.
Like, well,
they disappear.
It's funny, they don't, like, of course, like a lot of the guys on the SailGP boats are people I've sailed with my whole life or sailed against. There's a lot of old friends, but they don't see me like that. I'm like their mother, and the SailGP are like the coolest dudes in town, So that's kind of funny. I think that ship sail. They'll never see me as anything cool.
Isn't it funny? Too close, can't see the forest for the trees.
And then I'm like, I've been telling you this for so long. Starting on the start line, that is what's going to get you. They don't believe me, and then they sit inside you and they're like, oh yeah, I see you.
Oh, yeah. I love it. What about from an adult perspective with while we're focusing in on your work with the offshore club there, bringing adults in, like you've got a lot of expats turning in. Are you getting traction in that way? Do you see people coming in, adults that are drawn in for whatever reason?
Slowly, I would say, a bit more slowly. And as you say, I think that's a real challenge for us. And the SailGP is going to help a lot with that, I think, over the next, if we can have it for a few years. And that's a really big deal, isn't it, from a legacy point of view? I think because people, unless they know about it, they don't know to come, and they wouldn't even, it sounds silly, but they don't even know they can get a lesson. Because it's a members club, they don't know they can come down and have a sailing lesson. So I usually give, like, all of my friends that are not sailors, I give them a sailing lesson, not with me, because that might not end well. But I give them a sailing lesson to get them introduced, and they're always like, oh, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So I think the adults, generally, sadly, it's still people that have come here with, they already sail and they want to be part of sailing here because it's a perfect place to learn and be part of the sport. It's, it's warm, it's generally good wind. There's always winds. It's not often too windy. And yeah, it's like the perfect place to sail, really. But I think once DOSC, like a bit of a hidden gem, once you go there, everybody that likes it there spends all their time there because it's just, a bit more low key and a bit more like home. It's like
and you can get a cold beer.
And you can get quite a cheap cold beer.
Yeah.
Well priced, let's say. Maybe not cheap.
Is that all you think about, Beef?
Yeah.
How much?
In Dubai, in Dubai, in the middle of summer. Yeah, that's what I think about. I can tell you that, man.
Actually, I think the sailing club was set up by some pilots because they just wanted like a drinking club.
It's true. It is actually true. I remember.
Rules where you have to actually go sailing.
I recall that there was a lot of pilots there when I was there, and they're sitting around. They're going, "Geez, I love this club. Don't sail, just love this club."
Really good value.
There you go.
Nothing.
I did have a friend that went to Dubai many years ago, and she never sailed before going there. And now she's in your club and a super mad, passionate sailor. Like she's a lady by the name of Kathleen Swalling, and Kathleen will 100% be listening to the episode. I'm sure. Have you met her?
Yeah, I actually own half a moth with her. Odd, isn't it? Yeah, I know her well. But yeah, it's awesome. And that's what actually I've always had a lot of respect for her, because I do feel like some of these sports are a bit difficult maybe not to learn, but like she comes and races against, usually she used to come and race her laser against the kids. And like, that's a hard thing to do, isn't it? To go into a sport that you're learning and put yourself in that position. So fair play to her, because she's so like driven and wants to learn and not scared of like throwing herself in when all the kids are like, what is this lady doing here? That's how you learn and grow, isn't it? And that's the great thing about our sport. I think it's a sport for life, and what goes back to what you were saying before. It doesn't matter what you're doing it for. It's a sport you can do literally forever in your whole life.
Sorry,
Jordan. No, I was going to say, speaking of learning and growing, and I'm sure we're going to end up back in Dubai here, but the transition from into Olympic classes, so just moving back to the UK to a little bit of a colder climate, was that always on the cards, the Olympic dream?
For me, no, not at all, actually. I never really actually thought about it. A lot of people that are there, idolized it for years. But for me, I never actually thought it would be an option. Like, I did well at youth level, and kind of, I suppose it was a surprise to me as to everybody. I never really understood why I did well. I never got taught to sail. I just had a natural talent for it.
Wow.
So I guess like one thing led to another, and then I won a lot of stuff. And then at 18, I got invited to the Olympic development squad. And it was good timing for me. I had like 4 years. I was right at the beginning of a 4-year cycle. So I had 4 years to maybe make it to the Olympics. And I was like, wow, this could actually happen for me.
Wow.
For me, that was the first time really that I was like, and even when I won my gold medal, for me, it was a bit crazy that this actually happened to me. And when I meet people here, even they say, no offense intended, but you just look like a normal person. For the kids, it's really good to know. I'm like, excuse me, I'm not normal.
No, these medalists, how different they are.
Whatever that means. But yeah, I think it's great for the kids to know. You don't have to be like extreme physicality or size or shape or whatever. That's the bonkers thing about it, isn't it? It just happens to Joe next door. If you follow something and you're good at something. And I was obviously really lucky in the British pathway to get coached well, and took every opportunity I had, and was lucky to be able to come home with it with the gold medal.
Yeah. So you loved.
Oh, go.
So you loved the cadet. You said earlier that you loved the cadet, and how did you go on the Yngling?
Well, it took a while. I was quite bruised for a while when I first started because of the drop hiking. I was like, head. Oh god, it was awful. To the point where we were training in Palm, I could barely do it because it was so painful. I had like socks stuffed down. I think I had like socks all the way down my trousers, and then a full like 5 mil wetsuit and hikers and like whatever padding I could get.
Wow.
Yeah.
The mighty hobbles. The mighty hobbles.
Yeah. But actually after the girls were like, no, it'll go soon. You won't be like that forever. I was like, okay.
I do know a fair bit about the training exercises because of Nikki Bethwaite and Karen Gosnich, and a friend of mine was training together, and that's how that all the knowledge of the Yngling, the bruises.
Your fair share of Yngling. Yeah. Actually, I love the boat. I love the Yngling in a similar way to the cadet. It's because it's a slow boat. It's the race is amazing.
Tactical,
I love, the racing. That's what I loved about the cadet as well. It is about the racing, and as much as I like the faster stuff as well, for me, the mind games of the racing is what makes it really fun.
Yeah. So that 4-year process leading up to Beijing, how'd that look? From where did you live? Who were your coaches? Was it just you as crew were always together, or?
No, we lived separately at home. I just lived in like a friend's room, and then we trained a lot in Palma in the winter. hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I think Sarah actually added up the miles at one point, but up and down a lot. And then obviously we did the racing calendar, and then we just had blocks of time training and racing and blocks of time at home. But it's always a weird disjointed life, isn't it, of not knowing where to be when you're not there. That was a bit bonkers, but I guess everybody was in a similar sort of position. And then they had the performance center in Weymouth, so then we, you know, as time went on after that Olympics, most things moved a bit more to Weymouth. And now it's moved on from Palma a little bit, I think, in the winter, hasn't it? More like Villamora.
So I should point out for the listeners, you were sailing on the Yngling with Sarah Webb and Sarah Ayton, who had won the gold in 2004, and you stepped in and Shirley stepped off the boat. So the super sub is obviously a major thing there. And you guys, that's right, just came in, and the shine never went away, you know, like it was no polishing required. It was just away you went. And straight into it, like the multiple world championships, you guys, what was your secret? Just, was it the training? Is there super secret pommy water? What are you guys doing?
I can't obviously tell you the secret.
You bloody can, woman.
Enough time has passed. No, actually, I think all of us, a little bit afterwards, kind of, obviously they were looking for a crew for a long time, I think. And then I was sailing 470 at the time, and I couldn't find anyone to crew when I first started. So we did a crew search, and I was sailing with this girl, Sheena Craig, who was a really good sailor, and she hadn't done a lot of international racing, you know. So I think we kind of we're about fifth in the world, got to our kind of ceiling. So it was a good time for me to move into the Yngling. But I think for us, the team of it, our three personalities were all very, very different, but we worked so well together.
Right.
I don't think until we stopped, we appreciated that part. It was kind of just luck or not, I don't know, but we really complemented each other in terms of our skill set, I guess.
Bit of a familiar story. If you haven't noticed, us three can't actually stand each other. But I'm sure this podcast will end one day and we'll be good mates.
Sometimes we can work out not to speak over each other. Perfect. It's the same. Spray some water on you and it's the same as English sailing.
So yeah, I'm interested with the whole Olympic racing. Like when you were in China, because it was Beijing, I think, from 2008, wasn't it? Did I get that right? Yep. From memory. The whole element of winning a gold medal, like the amount of pressure, because, you know, it's not, when you're doing sailing for yourself, it's easier because you don't have coaches watching you. You don't have, you know, all the sailing team leaders watching you. There's no, you know, if they report back, they've got to do all this stuff. When you're sailing for an Olympic team, you've got a lot of pressure on your shoulders. Did you guys feel that pressure?
Yeah, although I don't think it, you know, it's only the pressure that you put on yourself in the end, isn't it? And I think that's what makes you good, actually, in the end. But I think the biggest pressure was winning the trials for us, because obviously it was pretty close with Shirley. So we had to get through that hurdle before we could really think about the Olympics. But we're all so similar in, like, we just wanted to win and that was it. Like, it wasn't even a conversation. It sounds silly because you wouldn't talk about it anyway, but we literally would have done anything to win in terms of, like, hard work, really. Like, now I look back on it, and that's something that I kind of struggled with afterwards. It's like, that's what we wanted so much. We did everything we could to make that happen. And then once you've done that and got what you wanted, that was kind of a weird thing. I hadn't realized how much energy I'd given it to make that happen. So afterwards I was kind of like, why am I doing this now? Because I've got the thing that I wanted, you know?
Yeah. Do you remember, like, the actual moment when you knew you'd won the gold?
Yeah, we were sailing upwind on the last leg of the medal race. It was like England. That's basically when we knew we were going to win, because it was like 20 knots, raining, couldn't see anything.
Oh, we remember these conditions.
Perfect. Exactly. Everyone feels at home, and then we were winning the race, and then this fish like jumped out like across us, and we were like, this is it. You could see everyone kind of just have a moment, and then, but obviously it wasn't over yet, so we were like, I had to get around the mark and then get to the finish line, which we couldn't even see. But yeah, that was really the moment we were like, I think it's going to happen for us.
Wow.
And then, like everyone always says about winning, it's like the relief of, I think because we always knew we could win, like we'd won the Worlds, we'd won the Europeans, we'd won the test event, we kind of knew we could win. It was like the relief of not messing it up, I guess.
I guess having won those events, though, the self-put pressure must have been high. You must have realised, look, we've done all this stuff. How did you manage that? I mean, did you sit together in a group and go, look, we know we're fast. We know we can do this. Let's just not let the pressure get to us. Is that sort of how you handle it?
No, never. We never, ever had a conversation about it. We just...
There you go.
Yeah, I think we all knew we wanted to win the gold medal, and that was like it. So everybody, like on a day job every day, it was like 100,000% focus.
Full focus.
Yeah.
What about now? Have you obviously there's a very special link with the girls. Do you catch up with them at all and have a bit of a laugh?
Yeah, it's actually a bit annoying because when I moved to Dubai, Sarah Gosling from the middle, used to be Webb, she moved to Leamington. So I was like, actually, around the corner.
Like the chess pieces.
Yeah, but it's good because when I go back there, I always see her and go skiing with her. And her kids are slightly older than mine, so she donates all her clothes to my kids, which is also really handy.
I love it. Does she wash them first?
I don't know. I can get. And Sarah Aiton, I don't see her as much because she was in Chichester and now she's in Poole. But yeah, we keep in touch. And with our coach, Paul Brotherton. I don't know if you guys know him. I've worked with him a long time, since I was like 16. So he was like a really big part of our focus and everything that we did, actually. So he's a really good friend still.
Yeah. It sounds like, it really does sound like that combination was just a magic combination. You know, like you sometimes you can get a lot of talented people and put them on a boat and it doesn't happen. But then other times it just meshes, you know, and you've got that combination and it's just a rare thing.
Yeah, it's funny actually, isn't it? Even in like friendship groups or anything, yeah, when you look back on it, it's such a magical time in terms of like everybody really singing from the same hymn sheet. Everyone was driven in the same way, like would have gone about things in a similar way, which helps. I think that sometimes can cause friction, isn't it? If you have a different way of doing things, but we all were like on the same path, really. So yeah, it's a really like special experience to have had that for sure.
It is very cool.
It makes like real life a bit different, isn't it? Where we're like, oh, where's everyone gone?
Yeah. well, that the reality of that is, I warned you that I'd do my research, and you sent me some nervous messages on that. One of the photos I found is of you and old mate Ben, and actually quite a few of your friends, just having a chat to a little old lady that passed away this year, the Queen.
Our favourite Queenie. Oh, it makes me sad. Yeah, we were very, very lucky and privileged. And I tell my daughter all the time and show her the picture, of course, that we met the Queen.
That's pretty cool.
Talk us through that just a little bit. Like, what's the process, Pippa? Like, do you get briefed on when to arrive, how to acknowledge all those sorts of things?
Yeah, exactly. You get briefed. I can't remember any of it, to be honest, now, but you get briefed like you're not supposed to speak to her. She speaks to you.
Wow.
You can imagine how awkward it actually is. And then we're all in this room waiting for her to come in, and she comes in, and it was like me, Ian, Percy, Ben, Bart, and then like a boxer, a couple of other guys. And she like came over to our little group, and everyone was just like, oh my God, what do we do? We're not supposed to speak to her, but what do we do? It was just the most awkward moment ever. And then Philip was there, and of course he's a big sailor, so he kind of broke the conversation with Perth. And then it was fine after that. And the boxer kind of had a good chat with her, because it was just funny that it was like that weird scenario when we felt like we weren't supposed to talk to her, but then
he just pipes out.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say when Percy did a curtsy, that kind of broke the ice.
Yeah, so it's not quite like the night we met the Queen Sophia in Spain and ended up inviting her back to our house for a barbecue, but that didn't quite go down very well either.
This when you do, in my mind, when you line up to meet the Queen, you remember, Blokes, when we were young lads, and I don't know if you did it in footy, but with rugby, you'd have to line up and show your sprigs, so you didn't have anything too dangerous on to kill. Like you had to show that you had no jewellery on, and you had to show you had the right boots on and all that stuff. Did you get that in footy?
I know. I actually got it in netball.
Netball,
Just
yeah.
had to make sure my nails weren't too
Yeah,
long.
yeah. Anyway, but that's kind of how I visualised the lineup for the Queen.
Showed them.
Eh?
I just showed them. I wondered what you were going to say, which bits you had to show them.
Oh,
You didn't have to check. Yeah.
I
This thing
figure.
can kill, by the way.
I wonder if they have like a secret, like if say you'd worn something inappropriate, like I don't know, say you had
Football boots with big sprigs.
yeah with footy boots, or you had not you, but
I don't know what they would have done then.
yeah, they just have someone to drag you off, secretly drag you off with your hand clamped over your mouth and stuff, that's
I just would like to see you turn around and put your legs up, show your sprigs. No, you're right, mate. In you go. Sorry. Go on.
So that's been pretty cool. But the other thing you've mentioned is, like you've got, as we said at the start in the intro, the British sailing team has just got some, it's balanced. It's been a
Big sauce.
It's a magic sauce, yeah.
My secrets.
Yeah. Is it because there's an Aussie in charge?
Was there?
No.
I do think we're very lucky there. And actually now I work with the 29er class now. So I realise, obviously looking at different countries, we're so lucky in the amount of effort and work has gone into our pathways. Like I was probably, or just before my generation, so Ben and Ian, with the lottery and the lottery funding, and then that funding obviously filtering into coaching effectively.
Yeah.
And the youth pathway, it's generated a really solid pathway that you guys have that too, right? But a lot of countries don't have that.
Yeah, our funding system's different. We have a few benefactors and a little bit of funding that comes from the Olympic funding. You probably know more about it than us, but we don't get the lottery funding, so I don't think there's as much money as you guys.
It's a system actually, like in terms of, I don't know how many people still play the lottery, but it's a great use of that money to support sport. And then we had obviously 2012, which was another little injection of support. So yeah, we're very lucky in that way.
So you have much to do with the Olympics now. I mean, you with the teams now in the UK.
Yeah, not really. I've done a little bit of coaching, FX coaching and stuff, but not really. The last few years I've been here, and then I had children, and then COVID happened.
Yeah, we all seem to forget that 2 years of nothingness, don't we?
Yeah, it just disappears. Like, where did all that time go?
Yeah.
I had twins, so that was a nice shock for me. So a couple of years of just getting through the day, but now I feel like the light is lifting and there's a bit more going on.
Yeah.
Especially in our region as well.
The coaching role, not just with in Dubai, but in general, is that something you enjoy, or you want to actually get back into the full competitive side?
I do really enjoy it. I don't know if I could do it all the time, but I do enjoy working with sailors and helping. And I love the sport. Like, I think that's the thing I've realized from not sailing for a while and then moving to Dubai, and then a lot of my friends here don't sail, but actually sailing is a huge part of who I am, of course, and it will be forever, and I love it. And I think I just needed a bit of time away. I got a bit oversailed. So yeah, I would like to do it. It's just I haven't really worked out a path for myself, I suppose, in terms of, obviously I've got young kids, so that makes things a little bit tricky, but I would like to do more sailing.
What about
the Dubai Ocean Race Club
offshore
club ocean race team has a certain ring to it?
Yeah.
Do you have a desire to go offshore at all?
Well, I'm glad I didn't get asked in a way back then, because I definitely would have done that. Whereas now, actually, my only things against going offshore are I get really seasick, which is a bit embarrassing, and I can't sleep. Anyway,
apart from that, it should be fun.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't go to sleep with my kids anyway, so maybe that bit's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a prerequisite of offshore no sleep.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I haven't really ever done the offshore sailing, so I'm not sure. But now I'm a bit.
Got to go do the Dubai Muscat. Surely that's back on.
Yeah, I know. I should do that. Yeah.
Well, just come down and do the Hobart. We'll look
that's
after
an easy
you.
one. That's an easy one.
First race.
Yeah, beautiful race.
Just make sure you don't do it a year that Nick's trying to do it, because it always seems to get cancelled every year he tries to do it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should do it that year. I'll say, damn it, I tried and I couldn't do it. I've been doing some SB20 here in Dubai. We've got quite a good SB20 fleet, and they've got the Worlds next year as well. So, or 2024. So our fleet's actually growing really quickly here. So that's probably the best racing we have here. So that's been fun to get back into racing and realize that I still like to fight the fight, you know, although it is like going into battle for a day and then I need like a week to recover.
Is that right?
One big thing we're a fan of here at Bar Karate is the banter on the race course. I mean, there's a difference between foul language and banter, which we all learned a couple of weeks back. But were you, especially in the Olympics, was banter a thing for you girls? One between the three of you, and two between the rest of the competitors?
Between the three of us, we had plenty of inside jokes. Yeah, although probably everyone else would not find them funny in the slightest. In terms of our other competitors, actually, I think this is like a more of a double or triple-handed thing. We're a bit more like kept ourselves to ourselves, I guess. I don't really know. I look back on it, I don't really know why. Like I was quite young and I went into that team and then we just did our own thing a little bit. But obviously through the 470, I met and still have friends through the world kind of thing. But we were more of like just quite a tight team, I think, in the Yngling. I know, so boring. But now I'm outbound for the day.
What we need to do, because you're in a coaching role, we need to...
Here's an idea.
Yes.
It's an idea.
I've had an idea.
I've had an idea. It was so visual. Let it come out.
You're in a coaching role. Could, you know...
Be like acne uncles, aren't you? Give more a problem.
Oh, I know where this is going. Go on, Jordan.
We need to add part to your syllabus, the psychological banter that you can use on the race course. It's something you could actually put in
gold.
You're going to charge for lessons, or
no? I mean, we don't have to charge. You give it your best go, and then we'll.
You're saying your jokes are better than my jokes.
No, I'm not making that. Why are you putting words into my mouth? I would never take you on. You're vicious.
No, you got him just then.
I've learned how to stick up for myself being around you lot.
She's met you once, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were best mates. Trust me, great friends.
So what you're saying, Jordan?
Yeah.
Basically, as part of the syllabus, you're out on the water.
Yeah.
You're doing the sailing. Push it away from you. Pull it towards you. Now we're moving into the classroom. What's those words up on the whiteboard? Banter. This is what we're going to learn today, kids.
Good though, actually. The kids that I teach, you know, they get a bit hot-headed and they do say nasty things to each other. And I'm always trying to say to them, not really okay to be saying these things to each other. But if we turn it into Jordan's banter.
Bar Karate's banter.
The Bar Karate Banter
program. What a good idea.
It is.
We decided we're going to publish a book last week. So this could be chapter 2, the on-water school bantering sessions.
I'm in.
When the Inspire kids sail past the lounge there on the weekend, it was fairly obvious there was some quite outgoing personalities amongst the kids as they sail past. So, you know, it's a good chance for you. It'll help with some of that, I reckon.
And also it'll give them skills for life, and that's what we're all about, isn't it?
It is exactly right. Skills for life. Did you actually ever think about doing the match racing stuff in 2012, or that had you got onto the kid production stage of your life by then?
Like a cow.
You're so subtle, Jordan. That's the beauty of this podcast.
Kid production stage. I mean, what chapter's that in the book?
Us ladies, we're so lucky, aren't we?
Yeah, you guys suffer so much. We're very sympathetic. And just think...
Very sympathetic. Yeah. Whilst you could have been sailing, you were making children.
Yeah, I know.
No, I did actually do a bit of match racing, but I wish I'd done more actually, because I didn't do a lot of match racing in my upbringing, I suppose, only like for fun. But I wish I did, because that would be good now, I think, actually. Something I'd really definitely be interested in. And it's even though it didn't last long in the Olympics, it's kind of a shame, isn't it? Because format-wise, it's great, I think.
It'd actually be a perfect fit for you. The size of boats you're sailing and you know, the type of racing it is. You don't have to go offshore. You can get back to the club, you know.
Actually would be. Focus on. Yeah, and I like to be in a team. Like, I'm not really a lone ranger, so for me that would be good, I think, to be sailing with. Yeah.
Speaking of a team, Pippa, you're obviously, you know the team pretty well from Minios. Have you got any inside goss? Did Ben kind of say, "Oh, we've got this one in the bag because of A, B, or C"?
What? When? Which?
Oh, well, for the next cup, for example.
Oh yeah, of course. We've got this in the bag. We've got.
Don't even have to show up.
Yeah. I mean, is that a question?
Well, after what secrets do you know?
Yeah, no secrets. Lips are sealed.
Oh,
No, I don't have any secrets for you, I'm afraid. Except we're going to win, of course.
Word has it, Ben actually writes a little note every night and puts it into the golden letterbox in front of his house in Leamington.
Wow.
Of the secrets to the America's Cup.
That would be great. I know.
I'm not sure where they get delivered to, but yeah.
My house, hopefully. And then I'll let you know. I'm actually a bit gutted about that because he's got a golden postbox and I haven't.
yes.
Mine as well. But that's what talk about it because it's a bit sad for me.
Why haven't you got one?
You get caught taping it up. Ready to go.
My name on it all over. That is a good question. I think they did it after. I think they did it for 2012. So I was a bit old news by then. But I know maybe I'll just go paint one outside.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They have post boxes in Dubai.
No.
The problem is in Dubai. They're all gold.
They're all gold. Solid gold.
Yeah, that's true. I might get a real gold one. Even better.
Yeah.
My husband loves England. Like he loves just English stuff. So he'd definitely be up for having a post box outside.
Oh, nice. Little English flag on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think what well, we should just get our listeners to, if they find a little replica of an English postbox somewhere in the world, just pick it up, paint it, and
Paint it gold, send it through.
we'll get it sent.
And then send it to you or me.
Send it to us.
To
We'll
you.
put it in with the merchandise pack which you'll receive.
I was looking at that. By the way, have you got women's t-shirts?
Certainly
We
do.
do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And caps? Need
Hey,
caps.
Jordan, just steal some from Jack.
You're almost identical in size, so it's fine.
It's okay. It's okay. She's already said it doesn't matter if it's clean or not. So
Exactly.
No, but otherwise, just if the listeners of course, you could reach out through the Dubai Offshore Club if you want to cut out the middleman. We could just
here we go. Next thing you know, there's going to be a bunch of gold.
That's what I'm hoping.
Up at Dubai Offshore Sailing.
letterboxes keep turning up.
With my name on. All the
Oh, come on, listeners, give it a go. This will be hilarious.
Oh, gotta do it, listeners.
You will make her day, listeners. Send her a gold letterbox with an English flag on it.
You know what?
Dubai Offshore Sailing Club.
The best thing, Pippa, is next year when I'm in Dubai, when we see each other in Dubai for Sail GP, you'll be going, you mongrel.
Yeah, just my house will be completely full of golden post boxes.
Yeah, no, let's not flatter ourselves.
Yeah,
Not that many people listen.
Oh,
It'll be at least 2 from my mum and Nick's mum.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's plenty.
Dear Pip, from Brett's mum.
Love you. I'll take that.
I guarantee you'll get some. I can think of some people 100% will be doing it. The other thing that we should probably talk about is you didn't just, I think you had a bit of a go at the NACRA 17 for 2016, I think. And then I know you're on the Extreme Sailing Series and the BAR team for a bit. And then I think it was Oman Air in the GC32. So you've been doing a bit of sailing, huh?
Yeah, I did do a bit of sailing. I think like I touched on a bit before, is a bit confusing for me. And I've always had this since I was a kid. I think because I like to win. So to win, I have to give it like 100%,
right,
1,000%, million%. So then I was always like torn between whether I want to do that, having got the gold. Like I know this sports psychologist, and she put this post up and it was like 3 kids on the podium. And the gold medal kid was like just really stressed because they don't know whether, they need to win again. Otherwise they don't want to not win again. And the silver medal kid is annoyed they didn't get gold, but the happiest kid is the bronze medal kid because they didn't get 4th and they can still win. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's like the journey is actually what makes it interesting and drives you. And I always battled this, like, why am I doing this and giving up everything? Because I've given up so much, lived quite a selfish existence, missed weddings and everything.
Wow.
For years and years and years. I was like, where's this going to end? Am I going to do this forever? As a girl, especially then, like if Sergio was around, maybe it would have been different at that time. But I was like, what's going to happen to me after I stop? So I always like juggled, but it's something that I'm good at and that I love. And I always juggled this sort of contradiction for a long time.
It does sound like you really went through it emotionally. Like it does sound like you put a lot of thought into it, because I can pick it up. Just that it must have. It was tough.
Really tough, yeah. And I think it is tough. Like that's something that isn't spoken about much, I don't think, or maybe a bit more now. But at the time in sport, in Olympic, I know pretty much all the Olympic sailors I know, especially girls, because there's not much of a career after sailing. It's a struggle. Like, when do you stop? What do you do when you stop? Especially, like, I was really lucky that I won quite early on. If you're later in your life, and all my friends were like doctors and lawyers and got careers, and then I was kind of like, what am I going to do? I think it is a really difficult time, and I found it hard because there wasn't really anybody. I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't find anyone to help, kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a funny problem to have, isn't it? I always just thought it was, and I couldn't even get a job. I couldn't get a job as a teaching assistant or anything. Like every job I applied for, couldn't get a job. It was just a really weird time in my life, and I was like, I didn't really expect that to go from like here to didn't know what to do, couldn't get a job, didn't know, which way to turn, really.
I'm guessing through the process to actually win the gold medal, though, you had all this psychological support. Then you win, and then all this stuff happens. Was there any post-Olympic support? Or
No.
Does that even exist now?
I think only in the really recently, the last few years, I think it's a bit more of like realizing this is a thing. Because like in the army, it's known to be a thing, isn't it? And actually, ironically, I went and did a sports science degree because I didn't know what else to do. And that's like one of the first things I learned about identity. I mean, it makes perfect sense now, but like that was my identity from a young age. That's what I did at the weekends. That's what I was about. And then it was my choice to stop. So there's also a weird thing. If I wasn't injured, it wasn't like I didn't reach my goals. I was in a good position. I chose to stop, but then my identity went with that. And I didn't really know who I was outside of that, which is another reason I wanted to stop, because I wanted to know who I was in the world and not just doing that. But yeah, a bit of a bonkers time for sure.
Sounds
now I feel like I know everything about myself. So I'm very well.
Oh, you're sorted now, eh?
That's why we're too scared to stop this podcast. None of us know what we're going to do when we can't take the piss out of each other for 1 hour of the week.
True, but I guess it is true of everyone, really, isn't it? Like,
absolutely.
It's just that I retired. I think this is the thing. Most people retire when they're older. I retired when I was quite young, so I still need a life, what direction to go in. And it's a bit overwhelming because I think it's a bit unfair, because if I knew which direction to go in, I could have gone in that direction, but I didn't know what to do. So that was also an extra complication, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting. So that leads to the discussions you have with your kids, like so your kids are starting to get to an age, where they're quite active, they're running around, they're going to start doing organised sport and things like that. Do you think about the conversations, for you it was win-win-win?
Yeah.
Are you going to have those conversations with your kids?
Yeah, I don't know whether to hope that they're like me or hope that they're not like me. Obviously, I want them to win, but now I have to be like, it's okay if they don't win, because they'll probably be happy.
You say it with so much conviction.
I don't need it. Yeah, but as you say, like, definitely, I think as well, just being a well-rounded person and being able to understand, like, even for me now, I feel like I understand. I think it was because I was so young as well. I hadn't really had many other experiences. It was hard for me to like really understand the whole thing that happened. Whereas, for them, it would be quite like strong on them having other things, other strings to their bow, I guess. And, having a life outside of it and a direction or a plan even of what to do. Because also I've realized, I think when you're a kid, you go to school and then you fall into something that everyone I spoke to was like, oh, I just fell into my job. Oh, I just did this. And then I fell into my job. And I was like, well, that doesn't really help me because I still need to go do something.
You fell into a gold medal.
I fell onto your podcast. Yeah.
There you go.
Like a big thing. So I think that's the thing. It's like trying to guide them to have lots of options. Although I don't think they're as.
It's a
Right.
strange. I've like I think we as parents are not you, Jordan, but Bryce and myself is the same. You know, like it's hard to know.
Never leave a forwarding address.
It's hard to know when you are pushing, you know, and what to say to them, because
And
I
actually, that's
understand.
one because
Especially-
now I'm coaching. Like some of the girls I've coached, girls especially. Obviously, I've coached boys too, but some of the girls, like their parents have pushed them a bit when they're really young. And they've been like to me, she's fine, just take her, you know, she'll be fine in the end. And I've been a bit like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. But then I've watched them over a few years, because sailing particularly, I think once you can like control the boat, and they feel a lot happier and more comfortable and they actually really enjoy it. And now they love sailing, like it's their thing. So then I'm always like, oh, with my kids, what am I going to do? Am I going to make them do it even though they don't want to? Because in the end, they might want to or not. I don't know. It's probably, I don't know what the answer is really.
I don't think there is an answer. I think it's just let them give it a go and
shut the door
it.
behind them.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Well, it almost goes back to the original question. One of the original questions I asked, like, your dad put you in a boat and just kicked you off you go, sort it out yourself.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Whereas
Which
now it's a bit more structured.
True, yeah. And there's a lot, and even then there was a lot more parents that were a lot more involved. Like other parents became my parents in a way, because my dad he ended up like running the cadet class and stuff like that. But in a way it was really good for me, because I did end up super self-sufficient and have been forever, I guess. But yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. It's not really, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, like, of course, everyone always asks me, will you get your kids in sailing? But of course, it's part of who I am. Actually, my daughter says, my husband was like, oh, you're getting big now, you're going to need to go to work soon. And she was like, no, I think I'll just go sailing like mummy. I was like, okay. She's got it right, hasn't she?
Love it.
Exactly. And so now, like if I go to work, usually coaching, she thinks I'm working. She thinks I'm sailing. And if I go sailing, she thinks I'm working, but I'm actually not, I'm sailing. But she's like, oh, mummy, off you go to work. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Remind me, guys, on the outro to tell you what Toby did and said the other day.
Okay.
Kind of related to this.
Okay. Have you got a little boy at all, Pippa?
Yeah, a little boy. Yeah, two girls and a boy.
Would you ever let your little boy have a mullet?
Absolutely not. No, although Sarah Gosling, that I said with her boy, wanted a mullet, and she was like, oh no, what am I going to do? I think they let him have it for like a day.
Guilty.
It's in there now, isn't it?
All right, I'll tell you what Toby did the other day. We were doing a fundraiser for the Variety Club Bash.
Of course.
And, raising money for underprivileged children.
Yep.
And he was sitting in the front of our bash car,
Ones
which
with
was on
mullets.
show. And we've got like a little bell just in the front seat.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts ringing it. Dad, get us a beer.
How old is he?
Oh, he's 8. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I'll keep my kids away from his...
and got a mullet.
He's a Port Adelaidean, so he goes
Port
to the
Adelaide
full
supporter.
club. Port Adelaide
go
supporter.
far,
He's got a mullet. Did you put a little moustache on him?
Oh, God, you too. I apologise, Pippa.
He'll go far, because that's super fashionable these days, isn't it? So he obviously knows.
Only in Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
No.
His dad did it to him. There's
He'll
no
go ways.
doubt.
Come on, move on.
Yeah, rightio.
All right.
Right.
So, SP20 at the moment, you got the Worlds coming up in Dubai. So, what else is on the program for you, champ?
Well, that is a good question. I'm trying to think. Do I have anything else on me? Not much, really. I think I'm trying to get into a bit more sailing, and I've been speaking to Paul a little bit about what we might do. I might try and do a bit of sailing in Europe next year, but generally not many big plans as yet.
Okay. Well, let's throw some hypotheticals out there, because as we said, a lot of people listen, so they might be going, oh, hang on, we've got this bit of talent just sitting there ready to go. So if an IMOCA team calls, it's a no? Offshore, smashing up and down?
Well, it depends on my mood, probably, how many
Okay.
gins I've had. I'm not very good at, like, if someone asked me to do something, I'd probably be like, I probably shouldn't say it. I was going to say yes, but that's I shouldn't say things like that. But yeah, I'm not sure offshore saying, unless they've got seasick tablets.
Okay.
And then,
How about
TP52 Super Series.
Yep, there we go.
yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
100%.
I could
So
see you doing
that's
I
got
could see you doing
RC44s there.
Yep.
Yeah.
RC44s.
They're in Oman, aren't they? So I'm going to go and have a little look next.
that. You can get back to your old days and do some hiking over the side on those.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. Make myself useful.
Okay, so we've got to one end.
Cape
What's
31.
Oh,
Cape 31. I want to put that on there.
Yeah.
They're growing enormously. There's a great circuit in the UK.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know a girl with a Cape as well?
Mm.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Okay, cool. We're getting you jobs here.
Not
Right.
many know, except offshore.
Yeah, that's fine. Maxis, like
Maxi
super yacht.
72s.
Yeah.
What do I get to
Like
do?
the Caribbean 600.
Yeah. I'm not going to say no. Would anyone say that? For any of these options, would any sailor say no? I'm all in. Yes, except
Cool.
for offshore.
There we go.
Just we have to clarify though, your
Okay.
work. Would they be comfortable with you doing that? Are they,
Yeah, I'm really lucky actually. They've really supported me, and I work freelance actually, so it's great and it's flexible. And the best thing about here is our winter is obviously lovely, and then our summer is in summer. So we're
You
generally
can go from 49 degrees to 41 degrees.
exactly. I'm used to it.
Oh dear. All right. Well, so there's a lot of opportunities out there. Obviously, I think the phone will. And if you do want to reach out and you don't know how to get in touch with Pippa, you can contact us. We'll pass it on. No problems at all. I think we're sort of getting close to our time. I think that. What about next year? Will we see you on the British Sail GP team?
I wish. Yeah, I wish. That would be awesome. But I think that is the thing, isn't it? With the women's program, it's awesome in terms of filling the skills gap. Like that, I think as a girl, it's a bit tricky. But you feel a bit like once you're not doing it, you feel like you've got a skill gap.
So,
and it's issue, I think.
Yeah, sorry to talk over you there. Sorry, I apologise. But one of our great friends is another British sailor, Dika Fari, and she is adamant. And I mean, I spend a lot of time with her, and she just let him go. Let's do it, rather than just say,
exactly.
Just throw them in. Let's go.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And that's actually something I don't know what will happen. I'm not really involved in that kind of conversation, but yeah, there needs to be something. Otherwise, we're just going to be in this scenario forever, aren't we? We need to get girls on the boats, on smaller boats, whatever it is, some different but the same, or however it can work. I don't know the logistics of it, but I do feel like we need to get girls on boats.
Here's another idea.
Hang on, Jordan.
No.
I can almost see a light bulb popping above his head. Oh,
See
yeah,
that-
that's the outside light, actually.
See that fan in the background? That's a cog. It'll start spinning soon.
The rumour that I may or may not be making this up. I may have asked Ben when I was talking to him in Dubai, the Ineos Female America's Cup team, Women's America's Cup campaign.
Oh, hello.
Pip,
Yeah.
you want to tell us?
No, I don't know. Do you want to tell?
Oh, would you do
Hello.
it then? Will you do it?
Of course. But I actually don't know if I would have a space there. That's the thing.
Why not? You're a gold
Always under
medalist.
promote yourself. It's all done. It's organised.
Yeah, you're a gold medalist.
There is something called the bar karate reverse curse.
Yes, the reverse curse.
No one will ever speak to me again, or they will.
No. Most commentators kill a team. You know, they talk up something and it dies. And we're the exact opposite. Everyone has success when they come on the show. It's bizarre. It's the reverse curse. So
Yeah, except for us three.
Yeah.
I'm drinking out of a Vegemite jar.
yeah, nothing happens for the three of us, but everyone that appears on the show goes gangbusters.
That's because we give everyone all our energy.
Yeah.
We just, at the end of the day, we're zapped.
So we'll see you in the America's Cup.
Well
Well,
done.
I'd of course love that, but yeah, I did actually apply, but I'm yet to get called up, so that's nice. A nice little.
Who's making that
Ego.
decision?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone important.
Pick up the phone to Ben and just talk to him. Your mates. You taught him everything he knows.
Everything.
All
A
right.
few gins, and then just tell him what he needs to do.
Okay. Any sign off you want to? Anything you want to tell us that's just going to make our world better?
No pressure at all. When you tell me something that's going to make my world better first.
Okay.
I think.
We did. You've now got the reverse
Oh, yeah.
curse.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a genie. The genie has come out of the bottle.
Okay, well, let's book in for a review process.
Yeah.
Yes, love it.
I'm all in for that. That's a good
You're
way.
more than welcome.
Good way.
At any point in time, Pippa, to join us. If something pops up, you've got too many gold letter boxes being delivered, just let us know.
Come on the show to tell people to stop sending gold letterboxes.
A letter from Brett's mum.
I'll come on with my 10 problems every week and you can tell me what to do.
Oh, new segment.
Make my own
Pippa's Corner. I love it.
Pippa's Corner. I love it.
Solve the world with Pip.
Oh, yeah. So if people do send letters in and want to answer questions, problems, we'll get you on, and you can be the Agni aunt. You can do it. Okay, Pippa's Corner.
I like how you turn that round to be me, but yeah, that's fine. Career made.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Pip. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been a ton of fun, as I knew it would be.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Well done.
Chat soon.
Love a bit of pommy banter, gents. And she's up there with the best of them, I reckon. You could tell it was maybe a little intimidating with these three Aussies.
Yep.
From the
to start with, not to mention when you first met her, Jordan.
Yep.
And I believe the question was, are you married?
Do you want
Is
my
that
number?
Negotiable? So that's intimidating in itself. Then not to mention three Aussies talking a whole lot of shit. But once she got into it, she gave it back. It was good. Loved her being on.
I tell you what, I reckon our Barkarati book of banter's got legs, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
I reckon
book of banter.
She's got a chapter in there.
Yep. So now the trick is for everyone, head out to their local post office, buy themselves a little UK mail post box and send them to the Dubai Offshore Sailing Club or whatever the name is.
I reckon it'd be hilarious if people did that.
That would be funny.
I
dare you, listeners.
Get the gold paint out. Yeah.
Little flag. Oh, beautiful.
I love it.
They start rolling up. I'd love it. That'd be great fun. Okay.
Cool.
Good.
Righto, shall we let's get into our other news?
Yeah, what's on this week, man?
Club events.
Been busy. Yeah.
Got a good note here. I sent you boys some info on these things because I couldn't work out what this guy.
What form of sharing did we use this time around?
For the link of info, it's on the run sheet there.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry.
Hang on. Let me just have a quick look. Here it is.
So we got a note from Pierre Harrison, and he said, you boys should mention the Pied Piper Intergalactics in New Zealand.
The Piedsies.
The mighty Pied Pipers.
And so we are, December 3 to 4. It is the sailed at the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron. The replacement for the America's Cup for that club. This is the Intergalactics, the Pied Pipers. Boys, I've never seen a Pied Piper before. Have you? You both obviously knew them.
The Pied Piper, that is your classic home from memory.
From memory.
They're 17.42 pounds.
It's basically are they not like a TS16?
Kind of, yeah, big TS16. They look a lot like a timpani with the windows of a timpani, 660. And but yeah, they seem to have. They've got a little bit of a fair bit of rig on them. They look like a pretty cool boat, like cheap, fun. Good on them.
Yeah, good. Love it. Bring them back, and just keep sailing. And actually, the Kiwis are bloody good at just keeping those older boats sailing, and new ones for that matter. For example, the Young 88's huge in New Zealand.
Young 88's
the Stuart 34.
The
might I add?
You are adding.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
best of luck to all the competitors in the Intergalactics.
In the intergalactic Pied Pipers.
Yes.
Now, to the listeners, see how easy it is. All you got to do is get on the emails, and we can talk about your fleets.
I love it. Good on you, BP. That's a good one.
Well done, good one. Yeah.
One fleet that didn't send anything into us, but I do want to mention the other club event that's coming up is the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia. I've got a little event coming up. It starts in 1 month's time, called the Sydney to Hobart. Just wanted to draw people's
mate, it's about time you did your weather brief, isn't it? You normally get it from about a month out.
I do. I normally try and do it from about a month out. Okay. I have been tracking, and I do have a view. I reckon we're going to see...
Mark this down, BP.
Yeah,
I'm right.
Listeners can come back at me. So my forecast is we're probably going to get southeasters about 5 to 10 knots.
SE 5 to 10.
And I reckon over the first 24 hours, it should clock to the northeast.
Nice.
Probably freshen 10 to 15 around the Sydney area, but the further south you go, the windier I think it'll be. I'm guessing high 20s, a bit of cloud about. That's my
high 20s being weather.
Yeah, temperature
degrees.
Celsius.
So you're calling a nice-ish one.
Not a bad day.
Day one you're talking here.
I feel like the risk is. I think it's going to be. I've got a feeling. Just looking at the maps, what I'm trying to do is I think there's a little bit of a low going to come through about 2 days beforehand. But, your timing can change, and it is difficult.
Hence the southeasterly at the start line.
Yeah, we'll have some build
so
up.
You're sort of going for a bit of a southeasterly gradient, flipping through to the east-northeast during the afternoon as it heats up, and then sort of staying northeasterly overnight.
You got it.
Right, okay.
A little slide down the coast. I like it.
Slide down the coast. What about the current? What are your thoughts on the current?
I have not done the current analysis, BP. I nearly did. I must admit, I was thinking, somebody will ask me that, and I haven't done it. So the current will be there.
Just ask the turtles.
Just off the coast.
The turtles know it all.
That's right.
The other
East Coast current, man.
The other thing that's interesting, boys, is obviously we've got 8 entrants from overseas. So Orion from Germany, Sunrise from Great Britain,
yep,
Antipodes from Hong Kong, Cassiopeia, 68 from Hungary. So the New Caledonian Eye Candy and Pulpito, and then New Zealand Cardo and the USA Warrior 1, as in WON.
And
so is Caro running under the NZ flag?
Yeah.
Must be.
German owner, NZ flag.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, interesting.
400 footers. 400 footers. Blackjack, Wild Oats, Comanche, and Perpetual Law.
Oh, Perpetual Law.
Yeah.
No,
Scallywag, mate. She ain't coming.
Law Connect. Perpetual.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Speedboat.
Whatever that thing's been called.
Rambler.
Perpetual. Law Connect. Info track.
Yeah. Now, here's the big bit of news. There's plenty. Obviously, the double.
It is Law Connect for those who are making sure. It is Law Connect. 100%.
Law Connect. Racing is Law Connect. Yeah, we're just having a bit of fun. Well played.
Yeah, I know. We always have a bit of fun.
The interesting one. This is interesting. Obviously, the double hander, big fleet. Blah blah blah. Some small boats, obviously. Mm-hmm. The 52 fleet is going to be unreal, as it always is.
Ripper. Yep.
The interesting thing, my friends, is as we all know, Matty Allen has said he's not sailing anymore, and he's got his boats up for sale. You know that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You all know that? Do you know?
Oh yeah, I've raped and pillaged half his crew for the mighty SMB.
He's not sailing this year, but he's entered both of his boats, but he's not going to be sailing them. So, if you want a boat.
It's already
turnkey.
Now that is a new term for turnkey. Fully entered.
That's right. Fully entered. Imagine that, just stepping straight in. Where it has it, the boat has sold the 52.
Oh, is it?
But not confirmed nor denied. So, but maybe that is, and it would be the way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Pretty turnkey. Come in, jump on, win it, whatever. Easy. You're welcome.
leave it in Hobart.
You're welcome. So yeah, no, I just thought that was pretty cool. Like, there's, I mean, he's entered the boats, and he's not going himself. So, hey, hello,
Who knows?
hello,
Well, shall I say it?
go on.
No, go on then.
It was going to happen.
Was it?
We'll be doing it from our lounge room soon.
Yeah,
Yep, we're going to be.
Controlling the boats. Yep.
twiddle.
Don't need any crew.
Yeah, it's heaps cheaper.
Way cheaper.
Okay, so that's race, but obviously the Pied Piper thing is the winner there. We'll focus in a bit more on the Hobart, getting a bit closer. We've got a few worlds coming up. We've got a lot to focus on. But right now we'll talk about the Jack Lloyd Listener of the Week. This is a slightly biased one, gentlemen. I have to...
Do tell, because I've got one.
Okay.
What?
Oh, you got one. No, go on.
Okay. I am nominating a young lass by the name of Helena Salza. Have you ever heard of her?
No.
Okay. She just got engaged to the head of our Ginga Challenge.
Ah,
Oh.
yeah, copy.
Yeah. So
Copy.
Helena and Tommy, who are into each other in a big way, I can guarantee you that, engaged. Congratulations to the pair of you.
Congratulations.
Both lovely
Now-
people, both fantastic people. Happy
Now-
for them.
I must say, I did see a photo of Tommy on the what we call the Facebook, the book, and I'm actually sporting a bit of a Mo myself for Movember,
Yes.
and Tommy's running one himself,
Yes.
and he gets engaged whilst he's running it.
Yes.
Not a coincidence.
Ah.
Yeah, anyone up for a mustache ride?
It's not doing him any favours, is all I'll say. But
Oh, geez, they're ugly eaters, things, aren't they?
but the best thing is that a Ginga can get married and engaged these days. You know, it's a new world.
So PC, this world. Bloody natty state.
Everyone's gone woke. And now that the Gingas are getting married, that's just crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
Even
Anyway,
they're on
good
top
work.
of the tree these days, I reckon. But anyway, cool. So listener of the week, Helena H. You're so slim that I don't think we can actually find a shirt that'll fit you. So.
You may or may not receive it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I did have one,
What?
but Helena and Tommy, congratulations, was from Dave Agtonini,
Oh yeah.
who mentioned after our chat with Ron, about the Warrell 1000,
yes.
etc.
Yep.
He mentioned there is a 3-day event, which is run in North America up on the Great Lakes called Around Prince Edward County. So check it out, aroundpec.com. It's basically using the same theory of, multi-stage, multi-hull event for a few days. Looks bloody awesome. So shout out to Dave and what they're doing up there.
And
Perfect.
it looks like Rod and Chris are going to go and do it.
Yep.
So,
That'd be good.
yeah,
Bravo.
good on them.
Bravo.
We'll track on that one a little
Again,
bit more.
it works. It works. Just give us a call. We'll even get people going to your event.
Beauty. Cool. Good work, team.
Yeah, nice. Well done, us.
This song has more
hot
relevance
time with
Bicey's
Bice.
moustache, doesn't it?
You're going to have trouble
yeah.
shaving it off. You know that, don't you?
Oh, mate. I almost had the kids shave it off today. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Right.
only a few days out, and then I don't have to be all that embarrassed when I go in for a bit of a business meeting these days. So, gents, I've got a bit of a theory on most things going around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is one which I think both of you will like. It's to do with the NZ AC40
Oh, yeah.
that they managed to nosedive. But word has it, Pete Burling wanted to know what it was like to sail a Mold 11. So he tried folding it in half. Good one.
Sorry.
Good one. Hey, no,
come on.
we all saw it, right? Massive nosedive.
Yeah.
Wicked. Wicked.
Launched 40 plus knots downwind.
Yep.
Elevator out the water. Whooshka puts herself in, folded the bow up, and
The load must have been insane. The graph. Did you see the graphs that they released?
Yeah.
75% or something above standard.
Oh, longitudinal
Not bad.
deceleration 70% higher than the previous worst case,
Yeah,
combined
that's
with simultaneous lateral loading of a similar magnitude. I think there was a sunfish.
Guian didn't write those words.
equals big bang.
Yeah, big bang.
Big bang.
Pretty cool though. Then they towed it back.
That's our technical term. Big bang.
They'll fix her up and they'll be yachting in no time flat. So
Yes, they will.
You've seen the new structure they're putting in there, Mr. Bice, as the representative. Oh, you're both expert boat builders, really, aren't you? So,
no.
yeah, I've had a bit of a look over. I think they'll be all right.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they'll good.
Yeah, good.
Next one, boys. Question actually. Who is the busiest man in yachting at the moment?
That's a good question.
The one that's at the most...
It's not necessarily, doesn't always have to be on board, just in the industry, let's say.
Well, it's Andrew Pinder, if you ask me.
Oh. You've been reading my run sheet?
No. It's... the little fella's everywhere. He's just so busy. I don't know if he's ever been home. Anyway, go on. What was
exactly? No, busiest man. Well, Sail GP, of course, in Dubai a few weeks ago. Straight into METS for METS. Straight to Malta for the Yacht Racing Forum. So yeah, full noise.
Yeah.
So all that weight he lost during COVID times, he's now back on the bottle. Just traveling around the world.
Tax incentives, beautiful.
It's
and during the yacht racing forum, boys, the Mirrorboard yacht racing image was announced.
Yes.
And Nico Martinez took that out with a lovely shot of some TPs sailing in Qashqai's. The light was just right, apparently.
It's a cool
photo.
You could see in development of all of those shots that
check it out. Go to the Mirrorboard yacht racing image. Just Google it and you'll find it. But there's some spectacular shots.
There are. There are.
Spectacular.
So indeed.
It's well worth checking out. And next, boys. Who? Well, Route de Rum. How many classes is there? 6 different classes or something.
Yeah.
And you obviously have your overall winner.
Yep.
But who would you declare as the most well performed in no matter what the class is? Just a bit of a standout. Does anyone pop to mind?
I, to be honest with you, I still can't go past Pear. I think she's wonderful. I think she deserves it. Such a smiley, happy little face when she crossed the finish line. Did you see the photos?
Yeah.
I think just the way she's sharing her sailing, mate, to me is winning. That's what I like about it. Yep. But anyway, that's
so Pip was 12th in the Omokas.
Absolutely.
Okay, check this.
Yeah.
Old teams.
Yep.
Charles first, Francois second, Thomas third, French. Ocean 50s. Erwin, Quinton, Sebastian, French. Imoca. Thomas, Charlie, Jeremy, French. You picking up a bit of a gist here?
I do want to.
The Rum Multi, Loic, Roland, Mark, French. The Rum Mono, Jean-Pierre, Catherine, Wilfred, French.
You know
then
what?
we go back to the Class 40. No, this is my point. We have a lone non-Frenchman who made it to the podium.
I love it.
So Ambrogio Bacciardia from, believe it or not, Italy.
There you go. Well done.
In the Class 40s. Well done. So he
Proud
wins
of you,
my bloody Battlers Award for the whole Route de Rum.
Good. There you go.
I don't want to. I think Justine Metro was the top place female in the Imoca fleet.
7th Imoca.
Yep.
I believe. From memory.
Yep, from memory. You know what I'm hearing from all that information you just gave?
French is pretty
good.
powerful. French are pretty powerful
in sailing. So they've got all those people doing the sailing. Then they've got the World Cup. The French obviously just flogged Australia in the World Cup in the soccer.
Yeah.
What I'm interpreting is that there is actually nobody in France at the moment.
They're either in Guadeloupe or playing soccer or in bloody
Qatar.
Qatar.
So, free accommodation in Europe if you need some. There's plenty of houses available. So, yeah, but geez, they love their sailing. Good on the French.
Dominating. Absolutely. And when you go there and see it, you're like, yeah, they're
I've got to say, I think we've said it once before. If you do get the chance, you've got to go to Lorient and check it out. I love it.
Yeah.
Have the chicken and beef skewers from Le Bus. They are bloody sensational.
Very good. Very good. I agree with you. Yep.
No one denies that, mate. I think I ate there twice in one day. Everyone keeps inviting you to the same place, you know. Like, it's just hilarious. Oh, dear.
Cool. Yep. Hot time done, gents.
Well done.
I do want to bring up one more. We've mentioned it last week, but I think we'll just bring back up the countdown to the Dockside Festival is on.
Give it a plug, but give it a plug.
Actually, we need our own theme song. Good choice. We'll do a bit of voiceover work this week. No, we're coming into the final 2 weeks. Big media push happening in the next couple of weeks, just finalising a few details. All the sports are in place. All the artists are ready. All the food vans, all the pubs, everything like that is falling into place. And got a few radio slots this week myself, just to really crap on about it some more.
Slot it in a bit.
And then, of course, everyone's just super pumped for it. And there's one event which has kind of made it all, and Harry Fisher can retire happy. The sausage roll eating competition.
Sausage roll eating competition.
We're looking for, and I can't wait to hear the commentary. I can't wait to hear the commentary.
I'll confirm next week, but some of the people, and not only Adelaide people will know these people, but Australia-wide people will know who's getting involved in this. It's gone massive.
In the sausage roll eating competition?
Yep. Yep. We got politicians, we got sports people, we got news presenters, all sorts of stuff going on.
Okay. All right. Well, BP, are you going to be there for that?
No, I won't be down there, unfortunately. I will be. No, I have to. I'm off to Asia tomorrow, so I'll be broadcasting from Asia this weekend.
Okay. All right. And I think you're getting to get a bit of fun. Like the commentary team will be a lot of fun, I take it?
Absolutely. Headed by your one good self.
Headed.
Pardon the pun.
Will be. Did you just say will be headed?
I am a bit afraid here, Jordan. We haven't really been on the tools together for quite some time. Apart from every week doing this.
Yeah.
But we are going to have a bunch of fun over that particular weekend.
You better send me some info, mate, so I can look like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the submarine racing.
racing.
You'll be commentating on that.
Yep.
Beautifully.
Yeah, got that down. Got that down, Pat. No, look, if you are Adelaide-based, worth a run up because, as Bicey said, there's going to be lots of, entertainment, a lot of different events, lots of things to do. So it's a good weekend for the family, I think. Bit of sailing, stadium sailing, so you'll be able to sit there and watch it from pretty much anywhere when you're in the port facility. And
bit of roller derby.
Absolutely.
And some sausage roll eating.
It's going to be fun. Run by a good group of people. And Bicey and Harry Fisher, the fourth bar karate guy.
The fourth leg.
The fourth leg of the bar karate team, putting the whole thing on, threw it out there. And congratulations to you, blokes, because even if it fails, it's a win.
Well, we've got a beer sponsor, so that's all I care about. That's it.
You got a good weekend of beer.
I love it.
Now, well done. Good luck to you, and hope it goes well.
Yeah, we'll keep you informed. Actually, we might even come live to you from the Dockside Festival as part of some bar karate stuff.
Actually, that's a good
We've done that before.
Yeah, we need to do more. You need to do more walkarounds, BP. It's
well, I think that it's getting back to that sort of the world has opened up again, so I think we'll be back onto that program.
We're allowed to share the mic.
Cool. All right, boys. A great episode. Thanks, Pippa. Love your work.
Loved it.
And happy.
Go the banter.
Happy sailing, everyone.
Yep. Cheers.
Enjoy. So consistent when you sing something.
That's what only way to be professional.
Yeah, you're right.
You need to publish it.
Yeah, I should.